Hi there, my name is Mark Sellers, and you know me as the author of The Funnel Principle, named by Selling Power Magazine a top 10 best sales book to read, and my latest book, Blind Spots, The Hidden Killer of Sales Coaching. Both are available on Amazon. Check them out. Today I want to talk to you about someone else's book, though. This was a good friend of mine and a client, Mitch Little, who wrote a book with Andre Coetzee called Shiftability. Mitch is the global VP of customer engagement for a very large semiconductor company. His sales force is about 15, I think, to 1,600 salespeople worldwide. Mitch is not just a really, really good sales leader, but he is a phenomenal man. And I encourage you to check out his book, Shiftability, some great nuggets in there. I was rereading the book a couple of days ago, and I came upon a section that really stood out to me in these times. It's about limiting beliefs. Yeah, how apropos is that? So the idea that Mitch and Andre talk about in terms of limiting beliefs is it's this head trash, this talk that we allow to come into our heads as salespeople that gets in the way so badly of being more successful and doing better things for customers. So here are just some examples of the kind of stuff that we would say would be limiting beliefs. One would be, my price is too high. There's no way they're going to pay that much for my product or my service. Of course, I have to make concessions instead of finding compelling trades. I have to do that in order to get the business. I can't get above so-and-so in the organization because I don't have a relationship with that person at the VP level or in that other department or the president or the owner of the company. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. We don't have any new products. We haven't had a new product in however long, and I'm battling competitors that are coming out with new products. I can't get a meeting with anybody in this environment. Nobody will return my call. So all kinds of examples, right? You've heard them, you're living them, either as a salesperson or as a leader of salespeople. So how do we deal with these limiting beliefs? Well, Mitch and Andre give us 4 things that we can do to deal with these beliefs. Let me share them with you. Number 1, recognize and expose the limiting belief. Yeah, just put it on the table so you can look at it and deal with it. I tell my clients, for years I've told them that lean business practices tell us that if you can't see the problem, you can't do anything about it. You have to have visibility of it. So I think recognizing the limiting belief, putting it on the table, is the lean version of that. You're in a much better position to deal with the limiting belief if you confront it and recognize it. So that's step number 1, very important. Step number 2, explore the consequences of the limiting belief. So right alongside of the limiting belief, ask yourself, well, what are the consequences of these limiting beliefs? Example, what are the consequences of not getting to the president or the owner or the VP in some other department that you really think you need to get to? Well, maybe the consequences are you don't make a sale. How many accounts do you have that are like that, where you're not getting to the right people? Or let's say your limiting belief is you don't have expertise in the product or application, and that prevents you from having certain kinds of conversations with maybe more of the technical people at your customers. What's the consequence of that? Again, maybe it's credibility, maybe it's access to other people. So there are consequences to these beliefs. And when you put those on the table too, then hopefully that inspires you to say, I can't run my territory this way. I've got to do something different. That's good. Number 3, find alternate beliefs. Yeah, so expand the possibility meter in your head that maybe there really are other ways to go about the obstacles that you are confronting. So right now, I talk to my clients. Some of them are having trouble getting in touch with customers. Well, how about being creative? Maybe something that you've never had to do before, but maybe it's sending an old-fashioned letter or a fax or injecting humor in your outreach, in your email messages, in your phone messages. Do something different that will increase your chances of getting through to these people. Or let's say that because you're a solo individual and independent, You think that you can do everything yourself. You can't. You can't. So you've got to maybe bring in your VP of something or your president to go make some of these calls. Those are alternate ways to do things to get around the obstacles. All right. So find alternate beliefs, get those into your head. And finally, number 4, design new behaviors based upon the new beliefs. So for example, back to the solo independent nature of a lot of salespeople, that's a tough one to get over because it's part of the DNA of a lot of salespeople. Your new behaviors might be, you've got to do a much better job of tapping the resources that you have. You don't have to be the person who does everything, has all the answers. You've got to be the person, though, who goes out and accesses the resources where all of those answers and all of those solutions can be found. And that may be some new muscles that you have to exercise. I hope you found this tip helpful. As always, as I like to say, be well, be safe, and good selling.